Good morning and welcome to your very own TV show, Get in the Know, Highland Park, Michigan. Today is Monday and we are getting ready to have a very good show. We're going to talk about jobs, employment, education, and what that means for the city of Highland Park, the city of Highland Park, Michigan. We're going to talk about how you can get jobs and find jobs and employment. And we're also going to talk about how employers can depend on a company to help them find good people. Today on our show, we have the owner of Newton Services, Mr. Ron Newton. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back to talk to you about how you can find employment, education, and all those wonderful things. Thank you so much for tuning in to Get in the Know, your very own TV show. I'm your host, Marley Blackman. Marley B, that's me. We'll be right back. And we're back. Good morning. Today is Monday, October the 17th, and it is that time again. It's 10 a.m. We are watching Get in the Know, your very own TV show for Highland Park. I am Marley Blackman, press secretary for Highland Park, and they call me Marley V. I'm your host. Today, we always like to give you great information. Since the show have aired, we promise to give the city of Highland Park good information, keeping you in the know about what's going on and what you guys can look forward to. And what more to look forward to than jobs, jobs, jobs? We definitely want to make sure that we can find great employment, great employers, great benefits, great opportunities. And right here is where you can find it. I have joining me today Mr. Ron Newton. He is the president of a company called Newton Services, Newton Family of Services, might I add. And that just means so many more things than I can even explain. We're going to talk to him and have him explain to you what that actually means and how you can be a part of the family. Good morning, Mr.
Good,
Newton.
good morning. How are you doing
I
today?
am doing well. I'm doing well. So, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Fantastic. Thank you for having me.
Wonderful. So, I hear that you do a lot of great things in the community. You do a lot of great things for people. Your background is to make sure that you find people good employment, and it's out there, right?
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
think that's one of the things. Our team, it's really not about me.
Yeah.
It's actually about our team. Our
Okay.
team does a fantastic job. Our recruiters, our staff, our support staff, they just do a really nice job at researching the market, understanding where the jobs are at,
Yes.
what talent's required to have those jobs, and then really us trying to make sure that we match those jobs to those employers' needs.
Right. So, to some people, that might sound like an employment staffing agency, but you are a little bit different from that. Can you
We are.
tell me about what makes you different from other staffing agencies?
Well, there's a couple things that I think we're different.
Okay.
One, we're specializing today in becoming more educational background.
Yes.
So what that means to the viewers is that we're trying to take the next step and really try to understand what the market is missing. So is it education around how to get a job? What are those soft skills?
Yes.
How to problem resolve, and then how to keep a job.
Yes.
And so our team is getting up to speed and we're writing curriculum so that we can teach people how to do that better.
Wonderful.
And then the other side is we are really an agency.
Okay.
So we can find talent, everything from your hourly price point all the way to a professional level.
Wonderful, wonderful. So that's great. So we have great companies right here in the city of Highland Park that could actually lean on you for your services.
Absolutely.
And we have potential candidates that could lean on you for your services. So what a good marriage, right? And
Absolutely.
that's why you're here because for my viewers, Mr. Newton, he believes in education. He believes in what he's doing. He's compassionate about what he's doing, and he wants to offer that opportunity for the residents right here in the city of Highland Park. Correct?
That is correct.
Well, I could say the city of Highland Park because that's what I'm here to talk about. But obviously, WHPR is broadcast live throughout Metro Detroit and throughout Wayne, Oakland, and Macomb County. However, so if anybody is interested, Mr. Newton can definitely help you as well, right?
Absolutely.
Perfect, perfect. So tell me about your ideal candidate.
Again, our ideal candidate is someone that wants to work,
Yes.
is willing to go the extra mile and show the employer that not only do they have a set of skills,
Uh-huh.
but they have the soft skills that go with that. So the candidate that we're looking for is not necessarily in one field or another,
Okay.
because we can always match that. We
Okay.
can always find the employer, whether that's administrative, whether that's engineering,
Yes.
whether that's in machine operation, whether that is just being a janitorial.
Okay.
So, I really think the biggest thing that we find a challenge in this market is finding people that want to be gainfully employed and they don't want to move around and jump around. That we're looking for folks that will take the time to really write a good resume,
Yes.
apply that to the market, and then go through a process
Mm-hmm.
that today employers are really strict about. Going through an application, going through a resume process, going
Yes.
through an interview process that sometimes is 2 and 3 interviews.
Yes.
And if individuals are willing to do that, that's our perfect candidate.
That is wonderful. And what does that mean for yourself and for the economy when you're gainfully employed, like you mentioned? What does that do to your self-esteem? What does that do to your household? What does that do to the whole being of a person?
Well, again, I've been fortunate enough to be employed pretty much my whole life.
Okay.
Starting back when I was a teenager all the way through.
Yes.
So for me, it's a sense of pride of ownership. That, I get up in the morning and I take pride in what I do and I'm excited about what I do. And I think when individuals really find that thing that they love to do, or even if it's a job that's just a stepping stone to what they really
There
love
you
to
go.
do,
There you have it. I
that
love that
gives
word.
them that foundational platform
Yes.
to build on themselves, their goals, their work ethic, and I think everything from their peers to maybe even their children get to look at that individual and say, I'm proud of my mom and dad. I'm proud of my brother or sister, my cousin.
Yes.
And you give them hope.
Okay. So we're talking about a lot of blue collar workers, correct?
Yes, I'd say probably about 80% of our employment staff is actually blue collar, hourly price point.
Okay.
So there's a lot of jobs in that sector.
It sure is. It sure is. So if you were talking about that, so tell me about the education that one would need to have to come to Newton Services.
Well, it's really simple. I think education is
Yes.
really, for our viewers, I think education piece is really every job is specific.
Okay.
So we have a lot of jobs in that sector that it's high school education or a GED that is required. But again, if you've fallen off track somewhere, our company also has a foundation. So we might say, you know what, wow, they have the right attitude and they need some education. So maybe we have to find them either a vocational training or maybe we have to find them a college to participate with that will get them to that spot where they have the right skills and they have
Yes.
the right background to get the job out there in the marketplace.
Amazing. So you have a foundation. We're going to talk more about that when we come back from break. Right now, we're going to talk. We're going to take a short break and stay tuned in to Get in the Know, where we give you the information that you need to know about to stay locked in, tuned in to Highland Park. Again, a little housekeeping. If you'd like to call in, you can call me or Mr. Ron Newton at 313-868-0342. Again, that's 313-868-0342. We'll be back. we're back, always having a good time with Get in the Know. I am your host, Marley Blackman. Marley B, that's me. And we are here on a Monday morning at 10 a.m. where you can always tune in to your very own TV show where I get you the information that you need to know about the city and the things that's happening right here in the city and just providing you with great information. Again, we take calls and you can talk to myself or my guest, Mr. Ron Newton of Newton Family Services, providing you with jobs and information and education and all kinds of stuff. So you can call them at 313-868-0342. Again, that's 313-868-0342. And so now we're going to have Mr. Newton talk a little bit more about his foundation as we were talking about before we went to break, right?
Absolutely.
All right, so tell me about your foundation. Tell me all about it. What made you I get so excited about this kind of stuff because it's so much going on, and I love a person who just want to keep giving and giving and giving and don't just stop and stay stagnated and say, "All right, I'm good here. I'm making money, or I'm not making money. I'm just going to leave it here." But you want to give back, and you want to make sure that people really have the tools that they need.
Well, I'm gonna go just for the heart moment for a minute and just say that as we were building the organization starting back in 2008,
Yes.
saw a lot of different types of people, education, skill levels. And my two girls, I have two daughters, one's 21, one's 16, and there's that pressure nowadays with all the social media and that going on that they have a lot of pressures. And I realized that not everyone is made for college. So when I started to look at the folks coming through our pipeline, the candidates applying for jobs in Flint, Michigan, in Madison Heights, and Bay City, not all of those folks had those skills
Yes.
to meet up with today's needs and
Yes.
standards.
Yes.
So, the foundation was simply a way to reach a bigger demographic. It was a way that I could say, hey, you know what? Let us put back some of our profits from the community back into that same community and help them become more employable.
Perfect.
And that's really why we created the foundation, so that we could help and start educating people. So we're at phase one, where we're just helping them build a resume, apply for jobs, interview, and problem solve in that process.
Perfect. Tell me, what are one of your biggest challenges with candidates or finding a good candidate? Because your job is pretty tough. You have two things that you need to fill, two buckets you need to fill, I would call it, right?
Right.
So you have the employer who's your client who's saying, "Hey, I got this job and this skill set, and I need you to find me a good person for this." And then so now you have a bunch of candidates that you have to kind of like you're the matchmaker, you're the millionaire matchmaker, right?
Exactly.
So what's your biggest challenge with that?
Our biggest challenge is folks that have had some gaps in their employment
Yes.
and getting them to understand that that is a challenge for us.
Okay.
So that they've had these gaps over the last couple of years, whether they've lost a job to no cause of themselves,
Yes.
or maybe they have self-sabotaged for some reason because they've got something in their life that's going on that they haven't been able to manage and
Yeah.
get through that process. So in reality, you know what the employers tell me every day that we're making these hiring decisions for? We need somebody that's willing to work hard, being willing to be there on time.
Work hard, people. Work hard, right?
Yeah, and be there on time.
Yes. Oh, that's
And-
important.
And, I think some of the things that we deal with on a regular basis is the challenge of understanding, how and why those people got there and
Yes.
try to help them
Yes.
overcome some of those objections they might have in their life currently.
Gotcha. So some of the things are probably transportation,
Correct.
childcare,
Absolutely. You're hitting it.
so or just pure laziness.
Yeah, I mean, if we can talk frank, I mean, sometimes we have to screen through a process because folks are filing unemployment or they've got something going on in their life and they're really not prepared to take the job.
Yes.
But they know financially, because they're on some type of a support or assistance,
Yeah.
they have to continue that process to stay on that income source. So some of the folks that are probably watching today
Yes.
are challenged with, they're up against some of those folks.
Gotcha.
So some people can have a great resume, they apply well, they interview well,
Yeah.
but their intentions aren't good. So we're trying to navigate that through to make sure that the people we're interviewing
Yes.
are great candidates and they really do have good intentions and they do want to have a good job.
Now, would you say have you ever gone to any of these sites and seen what the actual candidate would do for the employer?
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you find the work hard to
No,
do? Strenuous, if you will?
the thing is, I think most employers today have used technology to make these jobs a lot easier.
Okay.
So, even though a lot of the price point or wages are not where I think they should be, I believe we're still behind on wages. We
Okay.
should be paying people more than what we are today.
Yes. Make it worth it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Give them a reason to want to be
Yes,
employed.
absolutely.
You know, I always tell people a scenario. I say, you know, if you pay people the right wage, whether the tire goes flat or something happens in their
They
life,
don't want to lose that job.
they're going to find a way to get to
Yep.
to the workplace. And that's my challenge all the time with the employers or
Yes.
the customers that I have is
Yes.
saying, pay the people right. They will find a way to learn the skills and be a hard worker and get to work.
Absolutely, absolutely. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that because it's if you're making minimum wage, you're like, you know what? So what? I'll just find another job
Absolutely.
like that. It's a crap job and whatever. I'll just go and that's the mindset, right?
Absolutely. I mean, so some of the things I don't even think they mean to have that mindset.
Uh-huh.
So if you're, you know, you're getting up in the morning and you're working for minimum wage and it's a rough day or something starts out poorly and you know there's a bunch of other 850 an hour jobs,
Yeah.
you can kind of be like, well, I guess I'll go apply for another job.
Yeah.
Some of that is because they haven't been taught how to properly end a job, so they don't realize the impact of that company
Yes.
by doing that. The other is there's really no motivation. So I always tell employers today, say, hey, listen, if you can get above $10, $11, $12,
Yes.
$15 an hour, that same candidate pool will perform better and they will do a good job for you because they're like, man, this is a great job for me. I can really take care of my family
Yes.
on this job.
Yes. It's nothing more than being frustrated with getting your check and all after the taxes and the gas. You're just like, you know, is this really worth it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, we do have a lot of skilled employees. We have a lot of skill. We have a lot of folks that are coming through our process. We onboard folks all the way from the time they apply online with us at newtonint.com all the way to the time they speak to a recruiter live. They're being vetted out. They're being onboarded. And so we're looking for those candidates that really do want to advance their career. Maybe today it's an hourly job, but what if we get them into an organization that they can
Yes.
move up?
How exciting is that? So
It's very exciting.
Yeah, so you would talk to them about that. You would talk to each candidate
Absolutely.
about, you know, what their future looks like with being a part of your family, right?
Absolutely.
That is wonderful. Will you hire me? Can I?
Absolutely.
All right,
would.
perfect.
You're
All
a
right.
great candidate. But I don't know
Perfect.
if you're employable. You know, you have a great show here and
Uh-huh.
a lot of great staff that
I'm
depend on
always
you.
employable. It's just a matter about what the check look like, how
That's
many
right.
zeros come behind it.
That's right. That's right.
All right, so we're going to come back and we're going to talk to Mr. Newton about his family and how he got into this business. And, you know, it's a little crazy business. So, you know, what keeps him, you know, wanting to do this every day. So when we come back from break, we're going to talk to Mr. Newton about that. Stay tuned in, stay locked in to get in the know your very own Highland Park TV show. I'm Marley Blackman. We'll be right back. And we're back. We're having such a good time this beautiful Monday morning with Ron Newton of Newton Family of Services. We're going to talk more about what those services are. But right now, before we get into more of me interviewing you about your company and your wonderful self, I want to take a caller because, you know, somebody's trying to get through to talk to you.
Okay,
All
great.
right, perfect. Good morning, caller. You're live on the air with Marley Blackman, Marley B, and Mr. Ron Newton of Newton Family Services. How can we help you this morning?
Yes, I was trying to get you. Well, good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
I was
morning.
trying to get this information before, we came back on because I missed the first part.
What
And I wanted to
information?
know, your name is Marla?
Marley Blackman. I'm the press secretary for the city of Highland Park.
Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am. And what information did you need?
No, I just wanted to write down the information, what you said, so I can pass it out.
Oh, wonderful. So you can find Newton. I'm going to let Mr. Newton tell you how you can find him.
Absolutely. So you can go to Newton Services by typing in Newton, INT, NEWTON, INT.com, and that'll give you a list of our different branches, the phone numbers, and the contacts within those branches. And you can also apply online right there. There's actually a Find a Job button on our website, or you can register. If you'd like to go ahead and register with our agency, you can register with our agency and upload a resume. So I recommend that you do that. Put as many skills as you have. Put your goals in there and upload a great resume, and one of our qualified recruiters will be in touch with you.
Wonderful. Can you give her a number? Do you have a phone number?
Yes, 810-732-9660. There's also a toll-free number on the website. I have to be honest, I don't know what that toll-free number
Okay.
is.
We'll just give them the 810 number again.
810-732-5111. 810-767-5111.
Okay.
You got it?
Thank you.
Perfect.
Yes, I have it.
Thank
But
you.
I'm just going to pass out the information because I've been retired since 2001.
Okay.
So I just want to help some of these children I see out in the street not paying attention.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for your call.
Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right.
right.
So just to clarify, you guys, we deal with this stuff all the time, and there are people out there that just may want to work and don't want to work, or think that they want to have the job, and then once they're given the opportunity, they don't fulfill the need that's requested or required of them. So
Well, let me kind of touch on that. That's
Okay.
a great line in for me.
Okay.
You know, the thing that I always recommend, if you get on a job, you're selected for an assignment, or you have a permanent position being offered to you, and let's say that customer doesn't allow a walkthrough or an
Yes.
orientation prior to, and you get the start, and you find yourself in a predicament that says, geez, this is really just not for me.
yes.
Always contact the agency,
Yes.
especially with us, Newton Services. Contact the agency and have that communication with us. Our recruiters will be understanding. We can communicate
Yes.
with that customer and say, hey, they went there and they just really didn't feel as if that job was a good fit. We'll go back to the drawing board and we'll try to do a better job of matching the
Right.
skills. And
So communication is huge.
Absolutely.
Huge. So
Absolutely.
if you're in a job, you're basically saying, and you just feel like, I don't want the noise or the atmosphere or
Absolutely.
what they're having me do, it's too hard, or I just don't want to be here, then contact your company, your firm, or the recruiter, and say, could you find me something else, and transition out of that more effectively than just not showing up the next day.
That is absolutely correct.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. All right. So tell me a little bit more about what made you get into this particular business.
So, as a youth, I grew up in a small town, Montrose, Michigan, and
Yes.
and as I, grew up in that town, there was really not a lot of jobs other than the General Motors jobs. And
Okay.
so, as a youth, it's very easy to get off track. And so, I was fortunate enough to have good mentors in my life, coaches, other parents that kept us in line and kept us in athletics. And so one of the reasons why I got in this job is, as I was almost 17 years in mortgage banking, I found myself I loved mortgage banking, but I felt there was such a need in the marketplace because of at-risk teenagers, at-risk adults that weren't getting the care and they weren't getting the counsel from their peers or even employers alike
Yes.
that could help them and navigate this huge, vast field of trying to find the right job.
Wow.
And so that's really where it came from.
Okay.
Is saying, hey, you know what? I want to make a difference. Even if it's one person at a time, I want to make a difference on helping people find jobs that they can build a platform on, grow personally, and take care of their family financially.
Perfect. How long has Newton Family of Services been around?
We've been around since 2008, August of 2008.
And that's right when the economy kind
Yeah.
of took a downfall. So how did you?
Quite a challenge, right?
Right. What made you do that?
So the folks from the mortgage business, they said, I can't believe you're leaving the mortgage business to get into employment services at the worst time in Michigan
Right.
history.
Or in the world.
In the world, for
Yes.
that matter. And I said, well, you know what? We're going to put our agency in Flint, Michigan, and it's got its own set of challenges. And I said, if we can't make it successful here, and if we can't help people here, we've done something wrong.
Yes.
And so that was really the desire of my heart to say, hey, we're going to show people in even a bad economic time that there's jobs. If they'll roll up their sleeves and they'll work with us, there's jobs to be had. And we did that. In Flint, Michigan, our first year in business, we did almost $3 million in revenue.
Uh-huh.
And that was simply by our recruiters and our company being able to help people that
Wonderful.
needed employment.
That's wonderful. That says a lot for what your agency is doing.
Well, I think it says a lot for the people of Flint and communities around here.
Yes.
That when people are down and they have the right support staff and they have the right people around them, that people will roll up their sleeves and they will take care of their families.
Wonderful.
And I think that's the other side of what we were talking about with the last caller.
Yes.
Is there are a lot of people that are willing to work hard and they are willing to take care of their family. And so instead of our agency, Newton Services, being on the microscope, I think it really, as a testimony, says a lot about the people of these communities that
Yes.
will roll up their sleeves and they will go and do what's necessary to get the jobs in that market. Because there's plenty of jobs, folks.
Yeah.
There's a lot of jobs. It's just a question of, does it match your personality and your skill set?
And you'll help them figure that out.
Absolutely.
You and your team.
Absolutely.
Perfect. So we're going to take a short break, and we're going to come back to speak with Newton Family of Services about more details about the type of companies he's looking at recruiting, so he can fill those jobs for them as well. So stay tuned in, stay locked in to Get in the Know. I am your host, Marley Blackman. Marley B, that's me. We'll be right back.
Tune in every Monday morning at 10 for Get in the Know with host Marley B, providing the city of Highland Park news, information, and entertainment. Find out what's happening in Highland Park from the city's movers and shakers. Get in the Know with Marley B. Monday mornings at 10, right here on WHPR.
And we're back to Get in the Know, your very own TV show, Highland Park, Michigan. I am your host, Marley Blackman. Marley B, that's me. And we are talking about jobs. We want to make sure that our community is gainfully employed. It just makes you feel good about yourself when you go to work every day and you get that paycheck on Friday and you can fill the fridge with groceries, pay all your bills, hang out a little bit. It's just a good thing. It's a good feeling. So we are always interested in making sure that our community, the Highland Park community, is in the know of all of the opportunities that are out there for them. And we try to bring you on good guests and good people and good information. And today we are joined by our guest, Ron Newton of Ron Newton Family of Services. Hello again.
Hello again.
All right, so we were talking about all kinds of good things. Just in case you have just joined us, Ron Newton is, he can get you into a job. Right?
Absolutely. Our team is ready to put people to work.
So not only can you get people into a job, but we have a lot of great companies here in Highland Park that could possibly use your services. So different organizations, factory skilled companies that looking for factory skilled employees. Tell us a little bit about that. What kind of corporation would you look for as your client?
Well, again, the beauty of our size company is we're not small, we're not huge.
Okay.
So the nice thing about employers is we can boutique the service for them.
Okay.
So everything from their warehouse employees to their clerical to their more skilled positions or even maybe their professional side can be matched up through our agency. We have plenty of tools. So we have over 2,500 tests. We use a company called Prove It.
Yes.
To test out our employees. We use a lot of internal tools for aptitude, for skills matching.
Wonderful.
And so I would say this, that employers that want to use an agency, and you've used an agency in the past, give a company our size, or specifically us, a shot, because I believe we can take a look at your process, the skills needed to do your work, and we can make a match in this community and do a great job for you while getting more people jobs.
Amazing. So you guys heard it. So if you are watching and you are the CEO or the president of an organization and you are in need of some good people, Mr. Ron Newton can help you out. He and his team will be able to find the perfect candidate for you with the help from you, with your guidance, and help you fill those jobs. We have another caller I want to take and just see if we can help this person. Let's see. You ready to take another caller and have
Absolutely.
some fun?
Sounds great.
Good morning, caller. You're live on the air with Marley Blackman. Marley B, that's me, and Ron Newton from Newton Family of Services. How may we help you?
Good morning, Marley Dee. How you doing?
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
How are you?
Okay, two quick questions. One, could he please give out the information, the contact information?
Yes.
And also, is he familiar with the personality assessment test?
Sorry, I didn't
The
understand the
person,
last.
you said, is he familiar with the personality assessment test?
Yes, a lot of jobs that you go to now online, they'll give you a personality assessment test, and there's like no right or wrong answers. And is he familiar with that type of testing?
Yes, actually, we do some of those testings for some of our customers, and actually, we use DISC internally. So the Franklin Covey test is DISC, and it will give you some of your strengths, some of your weaknesses, kind of what motivates you, what drives you. So yes, I'm very familiar. Some companies use what's called a DDI test. Some companies use DISC. There's plenty of tests out there that will test kind of how you're made up and how you're motivated and who you work best with. And so, we definitely have those tools available. Our contact information, again, is 810-767-5111. And our website is Newton, NEWTONINT.com.
INT.com.
That is correct.
One last quick question. One of the questions on the test that I've seen is if you're working on a job and your coworker falls behind, do you stop and help the coworker, or do you continue to do the job?
I think that's a great question, and every environment is a little different. Here's what I would say. I would definitely find out from your coworker, what they're struggling with or what they're challenged with, and ask them on an off-peak time of the line and find out what you can help to allow them to get back on track with the line, or if it's assembly or packaging, or if it's machine operation, it sounds like. I would definitely take them aside and find out what you can do to make it easier for them. And then if that doesn't work, one of the things you would want to do is maybe schedule some time with your immediate supervisor to see if you can work differently with the process. Maybe the process is something that is holding them up, and maybe they can be moved around. A lot of times, one size, one fit all doesn't work, so we have to find out where everyone's skills are and where to put them in that particular process.
Thank you so much, and thank you, Marley, for a great show.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
calling in. Hi, caller. You're live on the air. Good morning. You're on with Marley Blackman, Marley B., and our guest, Mr. Ron Newton of Newton Family of Services. How may we help you?
Hey, how you doing today?
Good morning.
Morning. I was listening to the show. This is Jacques and I'm listening in Detroit, channel 91 Comcast. What's been created here in Michigan is what's called felony class citizens. Donald, Early, Snyder, those are all felony class citizens. They just haven't went to jail yet. And they've put a lot of citizens in jail who become felony class citizens. And I'd like to ask you, are you a felony-friendly company?
Absolutely. So again,
Good question, caller.
it's a great question.
Yeah.
Again, we do have some restrictions or challenges because of some of the customers that we work with do have some, challenges or limitations
Or requirements.
or requirements that they screen through, whether it's education, whether it's background checks. But again, we're encouraging those employers to look at those things and look at diversification more and more today.
Yes.
Because we find that when people come through something in their life, they need a second chance.
Yes.
And we want to be that place where at least we can evaluate that second chance. We can help you get to the right employers that do have that availability. So again, never screen yourself out. There's lots of employers in the marketplace that understand that and that will be open to employing someone with a felony of their background.
Wonderful. Caller.
Wonderful answer. One more question.
Yes, sir.
Very important. I want to get this right. So, which is there are a lot of felony class citizens here in Michigan. It slips my mind right now, but I appreciate that answer.
All right.
To that question.
All right. If you remember
one more very important question, and I'm just going to hang up, and I'll call back when I remember.
Yes, perfect. Okay.
That's great.
Thank you so much, caller.
Let me just add to that,
Yes,
the last
please.
caller.
That'd be great.
So, again, we're working with, there's lots of great programs going on right now at the state of Michigan.
Okay.
There's some prison, there's a jail over in Ionia. They're specializing the last 24 months of their prison sentence. They're going through testing. They've got an automotive center over there. They've got welding. They've got programming, CNC, construction. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
And we've spent some time over there looking at the facility and spending time with their staff. And I can tell you that there's a lot of great programs.
Yes.
So if you want to come back into the reentry program, get with your counselor or get with who you've got to work with.
Yes.
If you do have a felony, there's some great options. And again, the state is really putting a lot of pressure on employers today to be diversified, but they're also putting some pressure on them to pay individuals well. So
Yes.
these are not minimum wage jobs. I mean, some of these folks are coming out of a prison situation where they've been trained in CNC and they're getting jobs between $15, $16, $17,
Wow.
$18
That's
an hour.
exciting.
So pretty exciting
Yes.
stuff. Again, if you are serious about having employment, we've got everything from welding to CNC to programming to clerical to engineering.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we're not just an hourly type agency. We're an agency that looks at our customers' needs and we recruit based on what that need is. So
Perfect.
don't evaluate yourself out because I haven't hit the thing that you want to do in life.
Right. Don't self-evaluate.
Absolutely. Self-identify, but don't self-evaluate.
That's wonderful. I'm so happy that caller asked that particular
a great
question,
question.
because that's something that I wasn't even going to hit on, and that is something that the people need to know about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you go through something very tough in life,
Yeah.
we find that a lot of our candidates will take the process much more serious. And we find sometimes that a lot of the folks that have been through a challenge in life will actually become better employees than some of us that maybe have not been through some of
Yes.
those challenges.
Yes. Yeah, because they're feeling like they have to work harder. They have something to prove. This is their last chance. There's just so many things could be going on, right?
Just good lessons.
Yes.
They've said, hey, I want to do it right. It's that reflective thinking. A lot of times, like, again, if you go back to my beginnings, no one's teaching you that, there's no instructions of what to do and what not to do.
Yeah.
So making good decisions is always the best steps.
Yeah. Did you have problems making good decisions?
No,
Ron?
I actually didn't. I watched a lot of bad decisions, though. I have a tougher time as an adult. Ask my wife.
We have another caller. The phones are blowing up for you, Mr.
All right,
Newton.
great.
Let's see what's happening. Hi, caller. You're live on the air with Get in the Know, your very own TV show, Marley Blackman. Marley B, that's me, and our guest, Mr. Ron Newton, giving you jobs. What's your question?
Marley B, Mr. Ron. This is Yakanan again, and I wanted to say that you hit on the exact thing that slipped my mind, and that was that the young men or the men that are coming out of the penitentiary, what you should have in your assessment test is if a guy has been locked up 10 years or more, not the guys 2 years, 5 years, they haven't learned anything. Take it from me, I'm an ex-felon. 10 years or more, these guys have developed these integrity, substance, and character skills that are not found on the streets. These are the guys who have the honor and who can be trusted because they've gotten their lives together. They've spent this time, developing these important personal characteristics. I'm telling you, these are some of the best guys to employ.
Okay.
They're some of the most honorable. They'll be there on time. I'm telling you.
Well, caller,
these
not
are
to
some
cut
of
you
the
off,
greatest
but
guys you can employ.
that is so wonderful. Thank you
It is
so
true.
very much.
Thank you.
And if you know those people, tell them to reach out to Newton Family of Services if they're looking for employment.
I do.
All right. Well, thank you.
I know a lot of guys I would vouch for personally.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, caller. Give them the number.
you.
Have a great one.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. So, with all of that being said, we need to take another break.
All right.
All right. We need to pay some bills.
All right.
All right,
Let's do it.
perfect. All right. So we're going to come back with Ron Newton of Newton Family of Services. I'm getting a little tongue tied when I say that. I don't know why I'm getting tongue tied when I say that, but we're going to come back with Mr. Newton, and we are offering today jobs, 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 and we have them for you if you want them. Give us a call back if you have any questions and/or concerns for myself, Marley Blackman, Marley B. That's me, or Mr. Newton at 313-868-0342. Again, that's 313-868-0342. Stay tuned in, stay locked in, and we'll be right back.
Tune in every Monday morning at 10 for Get in the Know with host Marley B. Providing the city of Highland Park news, information, and entertainment. Find out what's happening in Highland Park from the city's movers and shakers. Get in the Know with Marley B. Monday mornings at 10, right here on WHPR. You're watching W33BY, Detroit, Highland Park, Michigan. The views and opinions expressed on the following show are not necessarily the views and opinions of W33BY, its affiliates, management, or sponsors.
Good morning, and we're back. It's Monday morning, October the 17th, and we're having a great time right here in the studio at WHPR. We're just so glad to be here. Mr. Watkins and his team, Ms. Willis, and the engineers have been so graceful with us and my team and making this show happen. So we're so thankful. We're talking about jobs. Get right here, getting to know every Monday at 10 a.m. We're going to give you the information that you need to know about the city of Highland Park and the community. So please take advantage, tell a friend, make sure people are tuned in to this wonderful show because this is the information right here that you need to know about. So far, we've had our wonderful mayor on, we had our chief of police on, our lieutenant on, and so many others. Mr. Blackwell was on last week, Senator Johnson was on last week, and today we have Mr. Ron Newton of Newton Family Services, and it just keeps getting better and better and better. So we're here talking about jobs and not just jobs, but how we can actually make people better, make your resume better, make you more employable, make you look really good on paper. And then, not only do you help them look good on paper, but then you help them, their presentation, their physical presentation look good, and then making sure that they have the qualifications to actually do the job, right? Absolutely. So you want to tell me a little bit about resume writing and the tricks to that and what you guys are looking for?
So one of the things that I always recommend when I'm talking to candidates and our recruiters really try to spend the time, because really anybody that walks through our front door is part of our family.
Yes.
Part of our employee base. It's
Yes.
not our internal staff and then
Yes.
the external staff.
Yes.
It's all one.
Yes.
And the thing I would like to say is, make sense out of that resume. Take the time to really spell out where you've been over the last couple of years. And if there's been a few jobs, then explain why there's been a few jobs. If there's been gaps between the jobs, explain why the gaps have been there. And then decide on what type of resume you're going to have. Is it going to be chronological order? Is it going to be more directive? Is it going to be more skills-based? And we can help you do that.
Yes.
So we have a resume course that we're looking for participants to be involved in. We do those at our different branches, so if you've got the ability to schedule time in off-peak time, we do those resume classes and how to apply for a job
Yes.
on a monthly basis.
Wonderful.
So again, 810-767-5111, and we'll get you enrolled in one of our courses, or you can go to newtonint.com, and you can actually look and see that we've got some scholarships open right now. So if you want to see a scholarship and available money to be given out to those folks that want to take the time to apply and go through the formal process of getting a scholarship, go ahead and look on our website at newtonint.com, and you'll see some of that information.
That is amazing. You guys have so much going on. How are you keeping up with all of this?
Well, we have a great staff.
Yeah.
That's the good news.
That
We have a
is
great staff.
wonderful. That is wonderful. So just making sure that you get the information out there, because a lot of times there are great companies and great services and great people like yourself and your team, but people just don't know how to find you.
Absolutely.
So, right here again and getting to know, we're going to make sure that we bring the people to you so you can have the information that you need, Highland Park. Is there anything else you want to say to close out?
No, I just, it's a pleasure to be here, and
Yes.
it's kind of a neat platform for us because we get to engage with the community.
Yes.
We get to engage with the
Yeah,
candidates
they can call
and the
in, they can
employers.
fuss at us, or they
Yeah,
can say
absolutely.
good things, and that is cool.
It's very cool.
It's very cool. All right, so again, we are wanting to bring jobs to you, and Mr. Newton is taking calls right now, or he's taking calls later with his team, and flood them, call, pass the number around, give the website address out, just for anybody that you know that is looking for a job or just not happy with where they are.
Absolutely.
Right? Or if you own a company and you're a CEO watching, then you can also call Mr. Newton to help you with staffing.
Absolutely.
Right. So is there a certain size company that can hire you for staffing?
It's a great question. I mean, we do service everything from a small family-owned business to a tier 1 with thousands of employees.
Okay.
Our sweet spot, in my opinion, is a company that has several hundred employees. They're always making hiring decisions.
Yes.
They got more than one location because we want to give the benefit of the doubt to the community that says there's a lot of different skill sets
Yes.
out in the marketplace. And so if that's true, and we believe that to be true, we want a customer that's large enough to be able to take advantage of our services, but also put enough people to work in the community that
Perfect.
it makes an impact.
Perfect. That is wonderful. That is wonderful. We have we have two callers. I'm going to take one caller. Then I have to close out with some housekeeping. You ready to take one more caller?
Absolutely.
All right. Wonderful. Hi, caller. You're live on the air with Marley Blackman. Marley B. That's me, and Mr. Ron Newton of Newton Family of Services. What's your question?
Yes, good morning. I'm enjoying the show. I'll be quick. I'll be brief. I just wanted to know, do you offer services to the disabled or those that are re-entering the workforce? Because, when you talk about the time slot of not working, do you help with resumes and building resumes if a person has been disabled due to injury, but they want to re-enter the workforce? I'll hang up and listen. Thank you for the show.
Thank
Good morning.
you. Thank you.
It's a great question.
It is a great question.
Marley-
We were actually just talking about that, right?
Yeah, we were just talking about it before the time on the air here. So it started about 5 years ago. I sat, actually, I was one of the founders of a pilot program in Genesee County with Disability Network. Mike Zelli's been in a chair for 35 years. I went to him and said, what can we do to make a bigger impact in the community? And he said, we've got to impact the folks that are unemployed, that have skills or degrees that are challenged with the barrier of a disability, whether that's cognitively or even physical. And so we created a pilot program. It got picked up by the Genesee Chamber of Commerce
Yes.
several years ago. It's been operating. And so to answer the question, we are very passionate about employing people that might have a barrier that affects them because of a disability.
That is great.
You just have to understand that. You have to self-identify so that we can match that with the right employers that have that same sensitivity and that same passion.
Perfect. All right, we have one more caller. Hi, good morning, caller. You're live on the air. You got to make it quick because I have to do a closeout. How are you this morning?
I'm fine, dear. How you doing? Can you have them to give the number again, please? The phone number?
Absolutely.
Thank
You're
you.
hot today,
All right.
Mr. Newton.
810-767-5111, and that'll get you into our switchboard, and then you'll go ahead and depending on what your area is closest to us, whether that's our Flint, Madison Heights, Bay City offices, we service those markets and the surrounding areas around that area. So don't worry if it's not in your area, because we do have a lot of customers out of the area. Again, that's why I always encourage people to go to our website and use the technology to find a job, and we'll be very sensitive to your time and patience.
Wonderful. Well, with that being said, we're going to close out for our show today on Monday, October the 17th. It always goes by so fast when you're having
It is
fun.
fast.
Yeah, it's over. The hour's over. Can you believe
All right.
that?
All my nerves are set aside now.
Oh my gosh. So listen, so we want to say thank you to Mr. Rod Newton for coming on and being our guest today on Get in the Know, and Newton Family of Services offering all these wonderful services for you, for our people, for our community, the City of Highland Park. I am your press secretary. You can reach me at City Hall if you have any direct questions for me. I also like to thank our wonderful mayor, Mayor Hubert Yap, our city council, and our mayor's administration staff over there that's running this city, and they're doing it so wonderful. WHPR, Mr. RJ Watkins and Ms. Willis, and the engineers here that at HPR just making this show wonderful and better every Monday. And just a couple of reminders, there is a city council meeting tonight at City Hall at 7 p.m. And we do have Goodfellow applications right here at WHPR Studios right in the lobby at 160 Victor. So if you guys are interested in those applications, you can come by and grab one. Other than that, we'll close out and we will see you next Monday, same time, same place. I'm Marley Blackman. Marley B, that's me, your host of the Get in the Know TV show, your very own Highland Park show. Have a great week.